Namaste, everybody, and welcome to Round Glass. I'm Lama Yeshe, and I'm really happy to be here with you today. So, thank you so much for joining me in this session, which is part of my series on practicing self love. Today's session is focused on experiencing silence. So, the silence that we're going to experience here is the silence inside of us, not trying to silence the world outside. We know how impossible that is. What we're going to concentrate on is silencing the inside. And if you can silence the inside of you, then it becomes still, and that stillness and that silence is like your true nature. It's bringing you back to where you were when we were born. We were born with this stillness and this silence inside of us. It's taking us back to that. So I have a question for you. Where do you go when you need a moment of silence? So please share in the chat if you're comfortable to do so. When I very first started doing this meditation on stilling myself and making myself silent, it took so much effort because in my mind was so busy, and it was like thinking, can I do it? I can't do it. And should I be following that thought? Should I sit like this? All those thoughts come into our head and completely distract us. So when we do this practice, I want you to let go. There is no wrong way of doing it. There's no right way of doing it. We're just doing it. Whatever comes up, just let it go. Any sounds that come up, then just let them float in and out of your consciousness. If you have any sensations in the body, you can note them, that I have a sensation, and let it go. Any thoughts that come into your head, just let them go. The more that we just allow things to be, instead of controlling them, we have this whole thing about wanting to control everything, control our thoughts, control our body sensation, control the sounds around us, control the people around us. This meditation is all about letting go of that. Just let go. Allow things to be exactly as they are. Allow a thought to come and go. Allow a itch or a sensation in your body to come and go. Allow a sound to come and go. The more you do that, the more benefit you'll gain from this meditation. So, thank you so much for your responses. So, where people go to find silence is in a park or a forest, a church. Yeah, that's a great place, really. Your front porch or bubble bath. That's another good one. And a mountain top. Yeah, for sure. So, thank you so much for sharing that. So, let's have a look at the practice now. During this practice, there is going to be big gaps of silence because the only way we can really get in to experience that silence is to be silent. Forget about your outside noise. We're going to close our eyes, we're going to go inward, and we're just going to allow ourselves to become still. Let things come and go, and we're going to become silent. So there are going to be gaps of silence. So maybe 1 minute or so gaps now and again of silence. So I'm telling you this because I don't want you to then think, hang on, that's a long bit of silence. Has my computer hung, or has the program finished, or has he falling asleep? So none of these things are true. What's going to happen is we're going to have those silence. So just allow yourself to sit in that silence. And remember, if you have any questions, if they come up during this session, then just pop them in the chat window there, and I'll have an opportunity to answer them when we get round to it. So let's get ourselves nice and comfortable now. If you're sitting on a chair, I want you to sit a little bit forward so you're not sitting back in the chair. Put your back straight, not rigid, just straight, and then drop the shoulders. When you drop the shoulders, your body sinks down. That's your perfect position for meditating. Put your feet flat on the ground. So, for this one, I would suggest if you have shoes on, take your shoes off so you can really connect with the ground. So, we've got a good grounding and also have them a little bit apart so you're nice and stable. Your hands, just put them in your lap, wherever the most comfortable for you. Okay, so let's begin. Lightly close your eyes. And I want you to think of one thing that you're grateful for at this moment. So, not something that already happened or is going to happen. Right at this moment, what are you grateful for? Bring that into the front of your mind and just sit and think about that gratitude a moment. And as you're thinking about it, I want you to just check in with how's it making you feel when you think of this gratitude. So let's begin the meditation now. We're going to begin by taking 3 calming breaths. So breathe in slowly and deeply through your nose and hold the breath. And breathe the air out through your mouth. Breathe in, hold, and breathe out. Breathe in, hold, and breathe out. And now breathe normally, just in and out through your nose. Don't change your breath. Now just allow it to find its own natural rhythm. And I want you to just become aware that you're breathing in and you're breathing out. And leave your awareness on that for a moment. And of course, your mind is going to wander off. So when it does, just very gently bring it back to watching the breath flowing in and flowing out. And while you're watching your breath in this way, it will naturally start to slow down. And as your breathing becomes slower, feel yourself relaxing into the meditation. So, all the way through this meditation, I just want you to focus on your breathing, just allowing the breath to flow in and out naturally, not trying to change anything. So, just leave your whole focus on that throughout the whole of this meditation. And after some time, you'll slip into silence and stillness. Don't try to force it. And from time to time throughout this practice, you'll hear a single bell. The bell is a reminder for you to sit in silence and stillness. It will allow you to move from your thought into silence and from your thinking into stillness. And as you continue to watch your breath, just start to notice the silence within you. Start to experience the stillness inside. What is noticing the silence is not thought or thinking. It's not a mental process. It's stillness, your true nature. Stillness is the canvas we paint our life stories on. Just sitting with this silence takes you out of the thought process. Experiencing stillness takes you out of the thought process. Being one with everything takes you out of the thought process. If thoughts happen, just let them float off and gently bring yourself back to the stillness and silence. If you get distracted, don't worry. These are just objects of consciousness. Let them settle on their own and come back to the stillness and silence. If your mind is still active, accept it. If you try to fight it, you'll become trapped by it. Accept the state your mind is in and gently let it settle into stillness and silence. Any thoughts or distractions are in the thinking mind, so relax into the unthinking mind. This is the home of stillness. It's your true self. It's impossible to know this stillness, as this would be thought, thinking. You can only experience it. When the thought process ceases and there are no distractions, all that remains is silence and stillness. So experience the unthinking mind, experience silence. When you're doing this meditation, you're not trying to achieve a particular state, as that would be a mental process. Just relax, let go, and accept what is. Before we finish this practice, I want you to reflect back over it. What did it feel like for you to sit in these moments of silence and stillness? Did it make you feel uncomfortable, impatient, or irritated in any way? And be honest with yourself. The way you're feeling is okay. It's just the way you're feeling. So, how did the silence and stillness make you feel? Just think about it a moment. When you tried to just allow the thoughts to come and go, did you find that doable, or was it a little challenging at first? Reflect on that point a moment. And if you manage to achieve this inner stillness, this inner silence, how is it making you feel? So now I want you to just very slowly start to open your eyes and just very gently bring yourself back into the outside world. When I do this practice, it always makes me feel alive and open minded and happy with the world and happy with my life. I don't know, it just makes me feel so good. I hope you had the same type of experience. So let's just go through your questions and comments now. And if you haven't put one in there, then please feel free to ask a question or leave a comment. So somebody says, I'm not used to sitting in silence. After a few minutes, I was able to relax. Thanks for leading this practice. It's it is any benefit is it any benefit to doing shorter periods of silence if I have 3 5 minutes instead of 20 minutes? 1 minute, 30 seconds of silence. We hate silence. I don't know what it is about silence, but if you were somewhere in a group of people and all of a sudden everybody went silent, people would just think of anything to say, any old rubbish to say, just to break that silence. So sitting for 1 minute in silence, 2 minutes, yeah. If you keep doing it throughout the day, you're going to be able to learn the skill to tap in to that stillness and that silence. You're going to feel so much better for being able to sit for this short period of time. So I agree, you don't have to do 20 minutes, but try to do it 1 or 2 minutes throughout the day. You'll get such a benefit from it. Somebody else said, when thoughts rush into my active multitasking brain, is it okay to quickly write them down or better let them drift away during the meditation? You should never put multitasking with me. I hate that word. It doesn't exist. So our brains cannot multitask. You can only think one thing at once. The whole word is a ridiculous word. It's just a corporate word. We cannot do it. What you're doing, you're putting huge pressure on your brain. But that's not why we're here today. But your point was, should you write it down? No, let it go. It doesn't matter. If you're going to write it down, what is going to be the difference between sitting in meditation and not sitting in meditation? They will be just the same. So no, don't do that, please. Another question somebody has is, I enjoy the sound of the bell. It feels like it helped quiet the chatter in my mind and helped me experience silence. I plan to add a chime or bell to my home practice. Yeah, they're so good. If you do at the beginning and just every practice, ring the bell and then just close your eyes and just follow that reverberation going softer and softer and going down and down and down and down. It is such a good way of bringing you into meditation. So, thank you so much for sharing this time with me. And I hope it's been of great benefit for you. And please continue to explore meditations with us. Check out daily live meditation session, the Round Dot Glass, or on the Round Glass app. I'll be back next week for another live session. Until then, have a great week ahead, and thank you so much for joining me in this session. Namaste.